Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining. Today we're going to talk about Elite Dangerous, and this is going to be a very easy way for any type of commander to make quick and guaranteed money, regardless of whether you already have hundreds of millions or if you have, I would say, hundreds of thousands. You can use this method. So a few things to start. One, this is going to be the Robigo run. So if you're used to that, then yes, this is still viable, but you need to stay around for at least a couple more minutes because I need to tell you what you need to do to maximize the amount of credits you can make per run. Firstly, go ahead and bookmark 3 systems for easy access. One of them is going to be Ceos, and I'll write in the description how to spell it, Ceos. Bookmark that. Next is going to be Robigo, Robigo. And last is going to be Sothis, Sothis. You need those three systems bookmarked, and now we're going to get into the method. All right, so this is passenger missions. If you're not familiar with it, maybe you are. Basically, you pick up some passengers, take them to a place, show them something, and then bring them back, and they give you a ton of money. And the reason that we're using this specific method is because it's very close and it's very consistent on the amount of money that you can make very quickly. So what you're going to need is some sort of vessel that has passenger cabins. And so I'll just show you mine. You can start with a very early game ship with just a couple of passenger cabins to start out. If you do, then you're going to want to start in Ceos just because there's 2 routes. One is from Robigo to Sothis and back, and the other one is Ceos to Sothis and back. The major difference is with Robigo, you're going to make way more money, but it's a much further jump. It's about 60 light years to Sothis, whereas Ceos it's less than 15 light years. So it's all about the distance that your ship can jump. Now, I went into the wrong menu here. Let's go to outfitting. I'm going to show you my build. I'm in a beluga. This is my dedicated passenger craft. It has a 30 light year jump. That's with engineering. I'll show you the cores real quick. Really, the only thing that matters with the cores for this is your frame shift drive. Everything else doesn't really matter. Now, I like the beluga for a couple of reasons. One, I don't need a scoop because this thing has a huge fuel tank. And 2, you can get, I believe, 10 cabins in it, and since it's a liner, it can technically have higher class cabins, which you're going to need now for the new Robigo run meta. So let's look at the optional internals for this. So the old way is people used to say only get business class cabins, but that's not the case anymore, and I'll explain why in just a moment. But yeah, all my optionals are cabins, except for I have the docking computer, advanced docking computer, so that you can exit and enter automatically, and the Super Cruise Assist. Now, you could get rid of the Super Cruise Assist and put an extra cabin in. For me, I know that I would just be doing a lot of loops of shame, etc., but that's totally up to you. Now, the rest of these are cabins. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cabins. And so that means we can do 10 different passenger missions. They range from 1 million to 3 million credits. So between 10 and 30 million is really what we're looking at. 30 million is the best outcome, but I would say 20 million is about average. So that's mine. I don't have a shield. I don't have a scoop. You don't need any of those things as long as you can, you don't need the shield, but as long as you can get to your destination without having to scoop, which you can do in this vessel. The Anaconda, if you don't have a long jump range, then you can't do it in the Anaconda. You need a 30 jump range. But in this vessel, even if you don't have the 30 jump range, you can still make it there and back with a low jump range because of how big the tank is. Now, I have heat sinks. That's all you really need, which this is mandatory. You need heat sinks for this method. And I'm going to show you exactly what you do. So once you get to, I'm in Robigo right now because I do have the big ship. We're going to go to the passenger lounge, and you're going to look for all the passenger missions that have Sothis next to them, and I'll show you what I mean. So you go in here, and you're looking on the right. You can see destination. We're looking for Sirius Atmospherics, which is in the system Sothis. But serious atmospherics, those are the ones we're looking for. So the way I prioritize it is the highest paying ones, which you can see the credits that they pay. Highest paying ones first, so there's a 3 mil. Once you pick it, you have to choose what cabin to select. So the way that I do it is I do the lowest quality and then the lowest cabin space. So that's gonna be business 10. And then I'm gonna try to find another high paying one. Usually there'll be a couple of 3 millions and then there'll be a couple of 2 millions and the rest will be in the 1 million range. So there's a 2.3, 2.5, 2.3. So yeah, we're gonna grab these 2 millers. We'll grab that one just because I know we're gonna need it. We're gonna have to grab it eventually. That's gonna go in business in the 6 capacity. The next one we'll grab is that, 2.5 million. And that's gonna go in a business 16 capacity. We had there's another 2.3. That's gonna go in a business. Actually, it's gonna go in a first, because I have 2 firsts left, I'm gonna throw it in a first, just in case we get a mission that requires more space. And then now we're down, oh wait, there's a 2 miller. So this one, we're gonna throw it into business. Let me just check something. Okay, we're gonna throw it into business. And 1.7. This is gonna have to go into first. And then I'm just gonna pick up some more ones. You get the gist of it. I'm just gonna pick them up for time, and then I'll kind of explain the technique here. Now, a lot of these missions, you're going to have to carry illegal passengers, which is fine. A lot of people use silent running to do this. I don't use silent running. If you get scanned, if you drop a heat sink, then you don't have to worry about it. The scan is basically lost. They can't target you to scan, and then you can usually get away. And with a bigger ship, you can have more heat sinks. And so, all right, I'm full up. All cabins are full. We're gonna auto launch. We're gonna go ahead and open galaxy map, and we are going to set our destination for Sothis, which is gonna be there. Plot route. It's 2 jumps. If you have a 30 light year range like this ship does, it's 2 jumps. Ship. So current is 31. My jump range is 31. The jump we have to do right now should be right around 30 light years, and then another 30, and then we're there. Now on this auto launch, it's a little bit easier to launch out than to land. You don't have to wait for this queue. You can just go on your own. But you know, it's up to you. But if you want to save time, then just skip the queue and just boom out of here. Hopefully we're next in queue. If not, I'm going for it. Oh, there's one right there. That's a dolphin. Okay, so yeah, dolphin is a really... Seriously? Dolphin's a really good one to... Oh my gosh. Dolphin's a good starting vessel. It's very inexpensive to get equipped. If you buy what you can do is have a small ship that has a long jump range to get out to Ceos, because Ceos is pretty far. These systems are far from the starting area. And once you get out to Ceos, you can buy a dolphin in that system. You'll just have to look on I think it's EBD something. Yeah, it's Elite Dangerous database, and see where you can purchase a dolphin. And that would be early. If you already have money, then you might want to just either buy a beluga or an orca to get you going. But the more space you have, the better. And I used to do this in an Anaconda, but the thing about the Anaconda, even though it has a lot of space and a good jump range, is that the Anaconda can't have the higher level cabins. And also, I would basically fly the Anaconda out here and switch out all the cabins, which got kind of annoying to me, so I just invested in a new ship, and I basically just fly out here on my Diamondback whenever I need some money, and then run a few of these. You can get like 100 million in an hour, and then you're good to go for a little bit. And so on these, you know, I'm not scooping. We're just basically trying to get there. One thing I will say is, you know, like I'm using a flight stick. You might be able to hear it squeaking in the background. I don't map my heat sinks to my hard points. I actually map it to a separate one. So for this one, I have it on triangle and right on the D-pad for this flight stick because this is PlayStation. But no matter what platform you're on, you can map heat sinks however you want. So you would be able to map this the same way if you had a gamepad. And that way you don't have to pull out your hard points. You can just use the heat sink instantly if you're being scanned, and then you're good to go. Another thing is, if you get interdicted and it looks like you're not going to be able to get out of the interdiction, don't let it complete. Go ahead and submit to the interdiction. That way your frame shift drive is not on a really long cooldown. And then what you can do is just jump to another system to escape real quick. But yeah, so we're gonna fly away from the sun so that we can get some momentum. So it's already gonna be blue for you in your navigation panel. We're going to Sirius atmospherics, but it's not always gonna be in the navigation panel. It might just have Sothis A5, but if that's the case, then all you have to do is get near Sothis A5 and then it'll show up in your panel. So no big deal. Super Cruise Assist, the fastest way to do this is you want to go full throttle towards your target, and then once it cuts to 7 seconds, then let the Super Cruise Assist take over. But that's the fastest method. I don't always do that just because sometimes I might be doing something else while I'm flying back and forth. But if you really want to be efficient, that's the way to go. Now I will say that right now I'm not playing on an open play, just because I will warn you there are players who will try to poach people doing this, and there's really no way to escape those guys if you're running this type of build. So you might want to play on a private server or solo, or you can play an open play. But just be aware that there are people who specifically look to kill or scan those that are running these missions. Because if they scan you and you have illegal passengers, then they're not going to get a bounty. And if you do get scanned and caught, you can end up, you will lose the mission, but you will also, there's a potential you can end up in prison, which is god awful. But just have your heat sinks kind of ready to deploy, so that if you do get scanned, you can just deploy heat sink, and then if you have a lot of heat sinks, you can just keep doing it, and you won't be able to get scanned. All right, so I'm actually gonna pitch down a little bit so that I can come in from the outside here, so that the planet's gravity doesn't slow me down too much. Because if you come in and you skim the planet, it's gonna slow you down a lot when you're trying to come in. And in this case, it's actually gonna probably be in my benefit because of how close we are. So we're here. All you gotta do is scan the beacon. If you can't see it, you can go into your contacts and it'll be there. It's called Sirius atmospherics. While you're scanning it, you can go into your galaxy map, to your bookmarks, and bookmark or pull up Robigo, plot route, and we're gonna get the heck out of here. And just be ready to pop a heat sink. If you hear scan detected, pop a heat sink immediately. Don't wait. Like, immediately be ready. So that's why I like to have it on a different trigger than just using a hard point or a fire group. That way I don't have to map it. I don't map my heat sinks. I don't map them to fire groups for that reason. And your hard points won't come out. It's really nice. But all right, so we're coming back. Same thing. Same thing as last time. Pulling away from the sun so that we can get a straight line to our target here. There we go, charging, and we're out of here. And then we just got to go to the station and turn in the missions, and that's it. And that'll be between 15 and 2. Well, this one will be probably 8, 11, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, probably about 16 million, I'm guessing. So we'll see in a second here. But yeah, I did this. I started this. I flew out to this sector this was a while ago. I flew out to Ceos in an Asp Explorer and saved up enough to buy a Dolphin. Then I ran these missions in a Dolphin for a hot minute until I could afford another ship that had more cargo space. And then eventually I started using the Beluga until I got my Anaconda, but I figured, I have the money, I'll go ahead and just get a separate ship. Also because my Diamondback can jump a lot further than my Anaconda, so it's a lot easier to get out here on my Diamondback than my Anaconda, so that's another reason as well. Same thing with your Super Cruise Assist. Full throttle until you get around 7 seconds, then go to 75% throttle, or the blue zone as the Super Cruise Assist says. But that's it. It's a really simple thing. A couple things to keep in mind. Taking too much damage, some passengers don't like that, and you will fail the mission, so be careful taking damage. And yeah, getting successfully scanned will fail all of your passenger missions. But all right, so we're gonna cool it a little bit here. I'm gonna get it to 7, and then Super Cruise Assist. We'll let this coast in, and that's it. That's the whole shebang. So let's just review real quick. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry, I forgot to mention earlier. So the reason that we need the quality cabins now is because in the olden days, you used to be able to just keep board flipping the game by switching from either open play to single player or private, and it would refresh your missions. Well, you can't do that anymore. So you're kind of stuck with what they give you. And so when you have the higher quality cabins, you're guaranteed to be able to fill up all your cabins. If you don't, then there's gonna be times that you won't be able to fill all your cabins. So if you're rocking 10 cabins, you need to have a couple of first classes and maybe a luxury. You don't need a luxury. I kind of like to have it just because I like to let the bougie people fly in style. But yeah, that's why you can't just use business class anymore, that you have to use. Well, you don't have to, but you're not going to make as much money if you don't use higher quality cabins like first class. So yeah, this is the best method to fill up all your cabins. No more board flipping allowed. So board flipping, heat sinks, map your heat sinks. No shield, no scoop if you can get away with jumping that far. If you can see my fuel tank on the right there, it's like at probably 65% full. So yeah, pretty legit. All right, so this is the next thing here. We're gonna go ahead and gun this in. Let's go a little bit wide so that when the auto dock takes over, it doesn't have to do all these maneuvers and stuff. All right, go to your contacts, request docking. We have the authority to dock. We're still gonna punch it to get closer because we're trying to spend the least amount of time as possible in this little lobby area. So we're gonna let the auto dock take over. Now, if you get scanned while you're in auto dock, you need to cancel the auto dock by either accelerating or decelerating immediately, and then pop your heat sink, because you cannot pop a heat sink during auto dock, so you have to cancel it. So like, let's say I got scanned, I'd pull back on the thing and then pop a heat sink. I just did it, boom. They can't scan, and then I just go right back into auto dock. Okay? Very important, because if you try to pop a heat sink during auto dock, it will not work. And a lot of times you'll get scanned right as you're going through the mail slot. And that's it. It's gonna land us, and we can turn in all the quests, or the passenger missions, and I'll show you how much, I mean, you kind of saw how much we were gonna make from it, but this is the entire length, and if you're even more efficient, you can do it faster than this video. But I haven't cut anything out of the video. I'm showing you from front to end, from beginning to end on how to do this. Starport services.
Touchdown confirmed. Dispatching ground crew.
Passenger lounge. And then everywhere you see the little exclamation point, that's where you have missions to turn in. So turn that in. There's 3 million. I'm gonna sum it up. I'm not just gonna say the amount. I'm gonna sum it. 5 million. 7.5 million. 10 million. Gonna round down. 12 million, round down on that one. 14 million. 15 million. We're rounding. 16 million. 17 million. 18 million. And it's actually going to be more if you sum it up. It'll be closer to 20, but there you go. That's it. So 18 million damage in a matter of however long this video is, because I'm not running a timer, but that's it. And it's super easy, and you can run those for hours and just rack up money. I think I had like 200 million when I started today. And so yeah, I'm getting ready to purchase my first cutter because I leveled up with the Empire today. So really excited about that. And I'm out here grinding money. If you guys have questions about this method, if I didn't go over something in detail or I confused you, please ask below in the comments. Like, subscribe, and until next time, thanks for watching.